Hello, my name is Elizabeth Alexander and I am the chair of the Sculpture Concentration. So at Montserrat we use concentrations instead of majors so students can kind of find their own path and pick courses from lots of different departments that they might want to work with and kind of curate their own experience as a student. So in sculpture we teach a combination of material studies and object making and interventions with space and environment. And so students can learn anything from welding and woodworking. We have a mold making class where students can cast material, anything, make silicone molds or cast plastics, cast paper. We also have classes that are maybe less skill building, but more application of skill for like installation art or flexible structures where students work with like actual flexible materials and maybe are a little more experimental with making wearable objects or sewing or working with vines and weaving. Sculpture department is very community oriented. We sort of are centered around some workshops in woodworking, ceramics, plaster, and wood carving, as well as welding. And so all the students kind of run those shops, work really closely with our shop technician. And it's a very community-oriented environment. You might need to work together in order to kind of realize your vision. And we really cultivate that a lot in sculpture. And so it's just a very vibrant community. And students in my welding class, we're actually going to make s'mores soon. So we also like to kind of play in there as well. Alum from sculpture work in a lot of different fields and they can apply the skills that they're learning to do any number of fabrication jobs, custom work in architecture, custom objects, exhibition preparation where they make all the displays for a show or do art handling. We also have a student that's working, or a former alum that is working in a machine shop making puppets for animations, and another former alum that is working in Atlanta making sets for all sorts of theatrical productions. And so we have an alum who graduated in 2020 who is now a sonic welder making spacesuits for the US Air Force and NASA. And this all started from a Montserrat internship. It's a small program, and so the students are very close to the faculty, they're very close to one another. I was just recently contacted by a student that graduated when I was an adjunct, I think it was my first or second year teaching here, to help them get to the graduate program. And so students will stay in touch with us this was well over a decade ago that I had this student. So it's a really, really tight bond that we form in this program. And I think at Montserrat in general, the community here is really, really strong. In the sculpture department, we really harness both traditional crafts and very experimental and conceptual approaches to making. And so students can really find where they fit within that. And I think the concentration structure at Montserrat allows for that even more, but our students can really do some very inventive things with sort of way that we've outlined the program here. One of the things in the sculpture building, I talked about all of the shops that we are built around, but we also now have a new digital fabrication studio where students can and do laser cut, and they can also do vinyl cutting. We have a knitting machine, which is really very exciting and a weird little machine that we pull out every once in a while, and the flexible structures class has been using that. And so again, like this sort of inventive way of pulling all of the different materials and technologies together to kind of, for students to sort of design their own version of how they want to define sculpture, how they want to make objects is really exciting. Because sculpture is a little bit less easily defined than other programs on campus or other media on campus, that maybe transferable skills are a little less obvious to people coming through, and basically, if you like working with your hands and you are interested in learning more about how to make things, how to use tools, how to use technology, the sculpture department can really kind of help you refine those skills so that you can transfer them into the workforce. So if you are interested in learning more about our program, you want to come for a visit, any of that, you can contact our admissions department or you can email me directly at elizabeth.alexander@montserrat.edu.